I'd like to introduce Christine from Scotland, who takes LDN for ME chronic fatigue syndrome. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning.
When did you start to notice your symptoms?
I was diagnosed following having Coxsackie-B in blood tests that I'd had because I thought I had flu-like symptoms, and that was in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
And basically since then, I've tried a host and a variety of different treatments. I've tried homeopathy, I've tried, used to see a mineralogist, tried loads and loads of things, did a lot of research myself about ME and what I could do to help my symptoms, and absolutely nothing helped until I started to take LDN.
Mm-hmm. And what were your symptoms for?
All the classic ones of ME, feeling tired all the time, not getting good sleep, a lot of muscle pain, really bad muscle pain, particularly in my neck, in my arms and in my legs. Just sometimes really horrible light sensitivity. Just really feeling really horrible and exhausted by absolutely the most minimum amount of activity. So as I say, I had suffered these symptoms on and off really since 1994, and then I did notice that also my immune system was quite weak, so I kind of picked up a lot of colds and sore throats. Mm-hmm. And then they always seem to take a long, long time to get over. And then even when the symptoms of the virus, like the cold virus, went away, that just totally devastated me again. And usually as well, I'd had to take antibiotics. So, of course, all the good that I maybe had in my system was completely blown out by the antibiotics. So it would maybe take me at least 3 months maybe to get over something as simple as a sore throat.
Right. At that time, if you had to score your quality of life on a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 mm-hmm. being the highest, what would it have mm-hmm. been?
Probably 9 at that time.
No, the other way round.
Other way round, sorry. At that time when the symptoms were really, really bad, my quality of life was pretty poor, so I'd probably go about 3, maybe 4, if I was feeling reasonably well.
Right, okay. And how did you hear about LDN?
It was actually in the Glasgow Herald. An article that I read about it, and it was a story about someone who had actually had ME, a physical education teacher in Glasgow, and all her whole history, her symptoms, everything about how it affected her life mirrored my experience, and so immediately I kind of looked into it a bit more, and then I contacted Dr. Tom Gilhooly mm-hmm. In Glasgow and made an appointment to see him.
And when was that?
That would probably have been about 2 years ago.
Okay. When you first started LDN, did you notice any side effects?
None whatsoever. Obviously, I was told that there could be, but I was started on quite a low dose mm-hmm. To start off with, and then it was sort of increased. So each time I went back, which the appointments were maybe every 2 to 3 months in the first year. If I was managing to kind of cope with that and it was having an effect, Mr. Gilhooly suggested we increase it. So we kept doing that because apparently different people can take a different amount, and he was trying to get the best possible result from, as much as the LDN as I could take. So I'm now on a maximum of 4 mL a day.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people with ME chronic fatigue syndrome are very ultra sensitive, aren't they, to
mm-hmm.
drugs? So you've done very well.
Yeah.
And how long did it take before you noticed any positive effects?
Well, I think it probably took a couple of months, in fairness, to feel a real difference. But quite early doors, after a few weeks, I kind of felt myself that I wasn't maybe having some of particularly my muscle pain as bad as it had been. But then I didn't know if that was just a fluke at that time, because maybe I just had it in my head that, I'm taking this and this is going to work this time. But as I say, as time went on, it really became apparent that it was working, and I was actually getting my life back again, because I could actually do things socially, which really I couldn't do unless I planned to take a day off work the next day if it was during the week. And on a Friday, I always went to bed for at least 2 hours when I finished work, because I was so tired, and I stopped needing to do that. And so those were the first kind of things that I really kind of started to notice in terms of life quality.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say your quality of life is now?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I'd say 9 out of 10 I scored, because the only reason I wouldn't say 10 out of 10 is because obviously I still have to respect the illness, and I still have to take account of it, and still plan, you know, and if I do pick up a virus or whatever, then I need to appreciate that, you know, I might take a wee bit longer to get better. But in saying that, in the winter there, last winter, I took a cold, and I managed to keep working. Now that's something that I would never have been able to do in the past. And that I was absolutely amazed that I wasn't totally floored for weeks, in fact probably months in the past it would have been. So I was so pleased, and actually my employment, I had been off like with things like that really on a regular basis every winter, and I haven't been off work with my ME symptoms now for over 2 years.
Wow, it's amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What would you say to other people suffering the same as you?
I would say to other people, give it a go. I know that some people might think, oh, I've tried so many things in the past like I did, and none of those worked. And yeah, it is kind of costly at the beginning, because, you know, you do have your appointments to pay for, etc. And my GP won't prescribe it. I've asked my GP to do that, and she looked into it, but she won't do it. Because it's not been tested, as all these drugs need to be tested and whatever for the, specific purposes like ME or MS. Although, as I say, they will give it to heroin addicts, obviously, because that's where it originally came from, to wean them off drugs. So I would say that give it a go, and if your own GP will prescribe it while you're on a winner, because it won't obviously cost you as much, they might still, I don't know, say that you need to pay for a private prescription. But just now, I only see Dr. Gulhuli like every 6 months now, because I'm doing so well, and obviously you get your private prescription, so it maybe comes in at about between £13 and £17 each time you get your prescription. But I mean, it's posted out to you and whatever, so there is absolutely no hassle with that either. You can log on and order it, or you can phone to order it, and the staff are really helpful, and it gets delivered almost the next day in the post.
Oh, that's really good. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us.
That's okay, you're absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome.